Hurricane and flash flooding updates for September 26, 2025. Good morning, I'm Meteorologist Pew, and today Hurricane Humberto is now a Category 1 with 75 miles per hour sustained winds. Previously, I said that Hurricane Humberto is going to be a Category 3 or higher by Sunday, but it looks like that's going to happen by tomorrow. The good news is that Hurricane Humberto is still predicted to drift eastward and pretty much avoid everything altogether. Now, the not so good news is that Invest 94L, that tropical disturbance that we've been looking at for the past few days, is now headed towards the Bahamas. And now we have an 80% chance of something forming in the next 48 hours and a 90% chance of something forming in the next 7 days. And the not so good news is that models are still predicting that she's going to make landfall around the South Carolina area. And if she does make landfall, it looks like it would be around the Tuesday period. Models are somewhat consistent that she's going to sustain as a tropical storm, but there are some that are leaning towards a Category 1, so we'll really have to keep an eye on that. The dream scenario that we're all hoping for is that Humberto is going to strengthen and broaden the mid-level shear to the point where it will drift Invest 94L eastward and away from the Carolinas. So looking at 500 millibars or midway to the troposphere, we still have that trough that's in the southeast right now, and it's slowly pursuing eastward. But that slowness is going to be a problem, especially for Invest 94L, because even though it's going to broaden and weaken, because we have southerly flow, it's going to help encourage Invest 94L to go into the Carolinas. So talking about the worst case scenario, with this trough associated with that at the surface, we have a stationary front to cold front that has been slowly pursuing eastward as well, bringing in a lot of rain and precipitation. And because it's so slow moving, we're having a lot of precipitation to the point where it's causing a lot of flash flooding. So today we actually have a slight risk in terms of flash flooding, especially in the southern app, but pretty much throughout the southeast. And so regardless if we get a tropical storm or not, we're having a lot of flash flooding in these areas for the entire weekend. So if we do end up getting a tropical storm or hurricane, we're going to have a lot more rain, especially in the Carolinas to Virginia. And looking at the projected path of 94L, it's going to be entering in an area where the sea surface temperatures are really hot, around 84 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. And looking at the mid-level moisture, this trough is going to be bringing in a lot of moisture to the southeast and eventually will help aid that tropical development. But there is a lot of dry air around the Gulf area that will also pursue to the east, and that's going to help hinder the development of the tropical storm. So we're just going to have to see, and I'll keep you guys updated every morning. But now quickly talking about Arizona, we do have another flash flood risk again, and this is going to continue because we have that mid-level low that's still sitting over here in the Southern California area. And it's recycling a lot of mid-level moisture, but also at the surface, we still have a low somewhere around the Las Vegas area, evecting a lot of moisture from the Gulf of California into Arizona. So similar to yesterday, you can expect isolated to scattered storms around this afternoon to evening.